the majority of fighters do have one particular stance that they favor, and they drill all the repetition from there. So all of their skill is just hardwired that way. That said, I personally believe you need to do enough in the opposite stance. So Southpaw if you're Orthodox, and Orthodox if you're Southpaw, for you not to feel completely out of the water when you end up that way round. Fighters, welcome back to another episode of Heat Trick Muay Thai Performance. Because you will throw a shot that misses and you end up stepped forwards, and now you're there and you haven't got time to get back again. And you, at the very least, need to know how to attack and defend while you're there until you can step, move, shuffle, do whatever you're going to do to get back in your comfortable stance again. It's one of the things I personally did a lot on a heavy bag in my solo training, that I would be like, yep, I'm Orthodox in how I fight, but I'm going to stand Southpaw and I'm going to throw my left leg as my rear leg and start grooving that in and push the bag away. And then when the bag comes back at me, cover up and sort of spike it with my elbows and practice resisting my guard and pushing back against someone so I don't feel completely out of the water there. And I very quickly found that enough of that repetition made me feel comfortable enough that I could actually use that in my fight style rather than just shuffling in on someone all the time and keeping that left leg in front, left leg in front. If they backed up, I would actually walk forward, step into the opposite stance, and I could fight them there and cover twice the distance in a step as I could in a shuffle where I kept my stance the same. And likewise, if someone was attacking me, being aggressive, I could step back, change my stance, and immediately attack them on like a counter because I was comfortable there as well. Not as comfortable as being in my Orthodox stance where I'd done most of my repetition, but certainly not uncomfortable enough to feel like, I can't even hold my guard right and I'm worried about getting hit in the head when I'm stood in this opposite stance. The other power I found with being able to change your stances, if you imagine you've got an opponent cornered in the corner of the ring, and if I'm facing them in my Orthodox stance and they go from my lead leg and they start to try and move out towards my rear leg, rather than me shuffling that foot back and almost letting them out, opening the barn door for them to escape, I would just pivot on the balls of my feet. And now I'm in my Southpaw stance and I could fight them there. And they were like immediately back in my hotspot fire zone rather than kind of being able to get out. So that kind of being able to pivot on the balls of your feet and shift from Southpaw Orthodox just by pivoting on my feet and being like instantly comfortable enough there to attack, defend, or whatever, especially when you've got a cornered opponent who's trying to exit on one of these adjacent lines along the ropes, you can just keep them in your firing zone the whole time just by pivoting on the balls of your feet. It's a lovely, lovely feeling, and not everyone can do it. So as well as controlling range by being able to step a lot more and change your stance, that sort of rotation and pivot is massive to be able to change stance as well. So certainly I would recommend it's worthwhile drilling enough in the opposite stance to feel like you're at least 50% of your capability that you've got on your lead side. And if you're off of that, I'd say that's a definite weakness that if I was an opponent, I would try and make you step the wrong way by pressurizing you and make you step in that wrong, because all of a sudden now you're open and I can just take you apart.
Thanks for listening. If you found this valuable, please like, subscribe, and share with someone else it could help too. Please give the podcast a review or comment below. We'd love to hear from you. As always, you can visit heattrick.com for more Muay Thai performance podcasts, videos, articles, and guides. Catch you next time.